Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging with bedhead while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Oh, this isn't gonna... I took a shower the other night at Mom's. Yes, it's finally happened. I showered. I got some news. They made it back to Florida safely. That's number one. Number two, they're going to be coming over Wednesday to go ahead and put this new pipe in and stuff for the gas. So that's Wednesday. We'll have to move the dryer and stuff. Now, evidently, moving on to, I guess, serious topics. Over the weekend, evidently, some shenanigans unfolded concerning the NFL and all this jazz. And God forbid people taking knees during the national anthem. And Donald Trump, recommending that people be fired from their jobs if they aren't patriotic. I mean, does that sound a little bit fascistic or authoritarian to you? Or am I just still delirious from sleeping last night? Since when do we have a leader in government recommending that people be fired for not being patriotic? That just sounds, I don't even know how to put it. For lack of a better word, it doesn't sound like what America is supposed to be. Not to mention, but I must, this whole deal about kneeling for the flag and how, the certain segment of society are such snowflakes and get butthurt if somebody doesn't worship a piece of cloth and go crazy over a national anthem. It's weird, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just think about it for a little bit. Are we actually, North Korea? Or do we have the so-called freedoms? I mean, what is it? It's just, I don't know. I think it's a complete distraction, of course, from super-duper important subjects. Not that protesting inequality and the things that why they're taking a knee aren't important. I mean, the thing is, when you just get down to the bare bones of it all, is that we are the empire. We run over other countries. We want their resources. We claim that we're doing this to spread democracy and all that jazz. And then meanwhile, back here at home, we get on people for doing a silent protest against what they find to be oppressive measures taken against a certain segment of society. I mean, honest to Pete, last time I checked, even some people that are declared, most people period are against a police state. And I understand, if I'm understanding correctly, the whole thing began basically due to the police shooting unarmed individuals, and with the ratio being more African Americans than not. Bottom line is, police shoot unarmed everybody. I mean, but in this case, I think the ratio is a little bit higher. And before you go on about black on black crime in Chicago, which if I had $1 for every time I heard that, I would be not sitting here coming at you. I'd be coming at you from probably some sort of mountainous region in another country with a cool climate. I don't know. Yeah, that's not really to do with the police. That has to do with hideous gangs and stuff like that. It's not, the police they're like an authority figure, and they need to know better. They need to behave in an appropriate manner and behave in a better way. I don't know how I might not be saying this in the right manner. But, that being a police officer is not even listed as one of the top 10 most dangerous jobs in the United States, or in the world. I think United States. Construction is number one. They don't even make the list. But they're always, in fear for their lives and, shooting people in the back as they're running away and stuff. And, I think it's fine if you want to protest that. As you know, I don't join any groups. I think that, and I wish people would remember this, because I hear a lot of people going on and on about how Black Lives Matter is some sort of, what do they call it, hate group or something like that. And the problem is with any group like this on a major level is that, and this is what I wish people would remember about the history, is that people the group could start with perfectly delightful intentions. As I've told you before, I've read the Black Lives Matter, for instance. I've read their mission statement, and it seemed fine. It's been a while. I haven't read it in, close to a year maybe or less. But what happens is some people get into an authority position and they take that, it goes to their heads, or more than likely, elements within our government infiltrate groups cause trouble to make the group look bad, so it's not taken seriously. It happened in the 1960s with the anti-war movement, ladies and gentlemen. It happened with Martin Luther King Jr. The FBI was wiretapping him. They were putting people in there to kind of work as double agents, so to speak. Not really double agents, but you know what I mean. Cause trouble to make the group look bad. It's as old as the hills. It's, you know, it's a very old tactic. I don't know why people always seem to forget that when they're going on calling these people terroristic groups that didn't really start out to be anyway. And I'm not a total expert. But I do, you know, I think it's fine, the whole Colin Kaepernick deal. Colin Kaepernick, yes. First of all, he puts his passion into, I guess he puts his protest into action. He's not just all talk. He doesn't just throw money at a problem, ladies and gentlemen. He's been known to physically get involved in his community, the betterment of his community. Now, of course, he does donate money and this kind of thing, but it's like hands-on. He really cares, so I don't see anything wrong with it. And as you know, I just think this is a complete wedge issue. I want people to think for a minute before you comment, because I know this is a very divisive issue. I'm not sure why. I've never understood why people get so upset if certain groups don't want to say the Pledge of Allegiance, for example. There's religious groups that do not say it because it's like, in their opinion, it's idol worship, and you're pledging your allegiance to a flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Yes. I mean, are you really that enamored with what our country is doing? You know, the leadership send the military off to do the bidding of corporations, to fight for Israel, first of all, a lot of times. Second of all, to plunder other lands that are not as well equipped, militarily speaking, and take their resources and run over the native populations and drop all kinds of weird chemicals on them and stuff like they did in Vietnam. I mean, is this really fighting for our country, ladies and gentlemen? I want you to think of that for a minute. Is that really fighting for our country, or is it fighting for a corporation or for another country, namely Israel? So, and like I said, don't take my word for it. Go back and read. You can probably read it in one afternoon, depending on your reading speed. And I loaned the book out to George, so I don't have it handy to hold up. It's War is a Racket by Major General, Smedley Butler. It was written in the 30s. He was a World War I hero, and at the time the most decorated member of the military, in that he received 2 congressional medals of something. I can't remember the details, but at any rate, boy, I'm having a hot flash. Major General Smedley Butler, who explained even back that long ago why we do war, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the big and powerful companies. So, I just, you know, come on. Is this kneeling during an anthem really, really a central issue in your life? Shouldn't we be outraged instead over the prison industrial complex, the private prisons raking in the money, for jailing people for ridiculous reasons, like having a small amount of marijuana, for example? And African Americans are targeted more. They're arrested at a rate of 4 to 1 for using marijuana compared to other segments of white segments of society. So, you know, why don't we direct our outrage at the fact that we have more prisoners than any other country on the globe, and that even China as well. We beat them. Why don't we direct our outrage at the fact that, you know, like I said before, we can't seem to have nice things here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody clutches pearls and demands, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? In terms of any kind of higher education for the people, and some sort of health system for the people, where you don't go bankrupt and lose your home because of a medical problem. You know, how are you going to pay for it? But it's okay to give billions and billions of dollars to this military-industrial complex. Get mad at that. Don't get upset that somebody's taking a knee on a football field in protest of the flag, which to them does not represent the same things as it might to you, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't mean all things to all, or the same thing to all people. I just never understood that at all. I mean, people over here go on and on and on about how hideous North Korea is, and it's a dictatorship and very militarized, and they practically have an orgasm when there's a military parade going down the road, and they're all patriotic. They're forced to be patriotic. Well, think about that. You have the President of the United States coming out and saying that he really thinks that NFL owners should fire people that aren't patriotic. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. And as you know, fascism is joining of the corporation and the state. And authoritarianism, ladies, you can't get any more authoritarian than a leader of a country, in which we all know these people are puppets, coming out and demanding that everybody be patriotic or else they could be fired. I mean, it's very upsetting, and I think that our ire should be directed really toward the reaction of the leadership than Kaepernick. And I understand Kaepernick has been blackballed or something. I'm not sure of the details. Quite frankly, as you know, I avoid the news over the weekend, and then I noticed today that Jimmy Dore had quite a few videos about it, and then I asked my friend Judith M. Villeneuve, Maine, and she had posted something on her Facebook wall, so I went over and got caught up on the, oh my God, the pearl-clutching issue of our day, ladies and gentlemen, is the kneeling during the anthem thing, and how I just see these snowflakes just coming unglued whenever this happens. It's really quite unbelievable. Fire them all, kick them out of the country. Hold me. Launching with Lisa, the video series that has me launching while coming at you thoughts of the day. Please join me, join others, drop your political identity. Focus on issues. Let's leave labels at the door. Let's research before we judge. And please, really think deeply about this video before you go off half-cocked and call me un-American.